Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and then wait. That's Gage's quote of the day. Guys, I'm actually right outside my first ever investment property. It's a side-by-side duplex built in 1911 here in Provo, Utah, right next to BYU, just south of campus. It looks just like that. That's what it is. Here's the crazy thing. I bought this thing in October of 2019, and I thought I was buying at the very peak of the market. I bought this thing for $310,000. I was scared out of my mind. Didn't know what I was doing. That property cash flowed about $800 a month for me while I had it, and I just sold it for over $500,000. So that property gave me about $250,000, and I'm gonna take that money plus my down payment, 1031 it into multiple other properties for more cash flow. 99% of people that are millionaires got that way through real estate, and here's how you can too. The average cost of a home right now in the United States is $410,000. Even through wars, depressions, economic downturns, the value of homes in the United States have continued to go up 5% per year. So by 2028, the average house should be around $540,000. So if you bought 8 houses right now, then in 5 years, you'd be a millionaire. And this doesn't even consider cash flow, tax benefits, or principal pay down. Because that's just it. The game is buying real estate and holding it. Because the longer you hold it, the more that property value builds. And so does your wealth.
Hey, I'm sure you've heard that interest rates just hit a 23-year high. And you know what that's doing? It's pushing more buyers onto the sideline, and they're going to wait it out. Let me tell you something. The days of the 2 or 3% interest rates are never going to come again. Forget about that. But they will come down. And you want to stay in the market, and I'm going to tell you why. The minute they drop and come to anything with a 5 in front of it, the whole world's going to jump back in the market. There's going to be no houses around, and prices are going to go up by 10% or even 15%. So don't get out of the market. This is the very best time to buy a house because everybody's scared.
Barbara from Shark Tank made almost all of her money in real estate, so we should all listen. Warren Buffett once said to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy when others are fearful. And I think there's a lot of fear in the market, and that's a great opportunity for investors. My philosophy is just buy in consistently. Some years you'll be buying in at the peak of the market, some years you'll buy at the below market, but on average, you'll be in a good spot. Here's how much cash flow my 9 rental properties generated just last year. For those of you that don't know, cash flow is just a simple equation. It's income minus expenses equal cash flow. So in real estate, your income is usually just rental income, what that tenant pays you in rent per month. Then expenses you have can vary, but it's usually a mortgage. If you took out a loan, then you have property taxes, insurance, management fees, so you're not taking tenant calls, maintenance, utilities, cap expenditures, and vacancy. So last year I cash flowed $4,600 per month, $55,000 per year. And I believe real estate investing is one of the best ways to build wealth long term. And I'm excited to continue and expand my portfolio and explore new opportunities and help you do the same. Thank you all for listening. You'll never believe how much money in appreciation I earn on a $4 million real estate portfolio. For those of you that don't know, appreciation is just how much the value of your home increases every year. In the United States, the average annual home price has gone up 4.3% per year since 1991 and 7.7% per year since 2012. This means that on a $300,000 home, you would earn $12,000 the first year in appreciation, and that number would get bigger every year because of compounding. Currently, I have $4 million worth of real estate. So if it just continues at the historic rate of 4.3%, that's $172,000 per year, which is more than double the median annual household income in America. And again, it grows over time. At 7.7%, that's $308,000. That's pretty cool for owning some houses. One cheat code in real estate that no one is talking about is that tenants are actually buying investors' properties. It sounds unfair, right? Like, why would tenants want to buy other people's properties? Today, I'm going to explain how principal paydown works in real estate investing. What that means is every time you buy a property with debt, every time you make a mortgage payment, you're paying down the loan on that property. But where are you getting money for the mortgage? Well, the tenant's rent. So here's an example. Let's say you buy a $400,000 house and you put 20% down. So that's $80,000. And then you go to the bank and take out a loan for $320,000. And most mortgages have a 30-year term. So every time you make a mortgage payment, a part of that payment's going towards interest. The rest is paying down that loan. So on average, with each year making those mortgage payments, you owe $10,600 less each year. So that's what I'm saying when I say tenants buy houses for investors. We come up with the down payment, and then the tenant's usually the one making our mortgage payment for us. So right now I have $2 million in real estate debt, but on average that's shrinking by $70,000 a year, which is money for investors. Let me tell you a secret about real estate. Did you know that when you invest in real estate, they don't make you pay taxes? In fact, the government only lets each individual have 10 mortgages because of how good the tax benefits are. But most people only have one mortgage, their home. So the US tax laws are all about incentives because they have tax benefits for certain investments that help the US economy and the country in general. And one thing every government needs is housing. So they have a lot of incentives built into real estate. So as a real estate investor, you don't have to pay taxes most of the time legally because it's all about the incentives. So I'll give you a quick example. So I bought this property for $325,000. 2 years later, I sold it for $525,000. So normally I'd be taxed on $200,000, but I took that money and the down payment that I had in equity, and I bought this house, and this house with it and didn't pay taxes. So if you want to earn money and not be taxed, buy real estate. One of my favorite games of all time is Monopoly. And I think that what's happening in the United States with real estate and everything else is just a giant game of Monopoly. Think about it. What happens at the beginning of Monopoly? Everyone goes on a frenzy to buy as many assets as possible. Houses, the railroads, the utility companies. And then once all the assets are purchased, then it gets crazy because the people that don't have any assets, if they're smart, they will pay almost any price to get their hands on a group of cards, either Monopoly or an asset, so they have some chance of staying in the game. And because of that, the prices go up tremendously, and so does rent, so does the value of everything. And I think that's what's happening in America. So the best thing to do is buy assets and hold them. Otherwise, you're gonna be at the end of life and lose the game. Because you will never win Monopoly if you just pass go, aka collect your paycheck and never invest or buy anything.